You've said that you don't respect straight guys as a rule.
Yeah.
What's the disrespectful thing that you think about me that you're not saying?
Oh God. Well, you're
Swing away.
Straight still? Is
Yeah.
that still the truth? Okay. You never know. It's Mike, life is long
Is
and
that
things
the
are
truth still? You were just making a joke about the "Don't Think Twice" poster on the wall. Do you have a personal story with it?
Dude, you can never understand. Well, I love this movie. I love
Thank you.
your movie so much.
You don't have to, by the way.
And I do. I would be honest if I didn't. I really
Okay.
would tell you. If I was like, I would give notes. But I thought it was so wonderful. And you can't understand the havoc it wreaked on my college improv team.
I hear that a lot.
I'm dead serious.
I hear that a lot.
It was me and Chance and a couple of our other buddies that watched it. And it just like, I think it was the first time we reckoned with the idea that like, that making it is like a thing and it's going to happen or not happen. And that means something in some way. It fucked us up.
No, it does. It does hit home with improvisers, particularly, and I find bands.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that same thing with bands.
Yeah.
Someone will break out from a band and be like a solo act. That's
Yeah.
like huge.
There's so many things I love about it. I really could go on and on. I mean, Tammy Sager, I've been a fan of hers for so long.
Unbelievable.
I just think she's a genius. And getting to see her in it, but probably my favorite part that we talk about all the time. We actually rewatched it like a couple weeks ago. Chance and I and our friend Holmes, we got high on the couch and rewatched it. And my favorite part is when he goes, I felt it to be true that if I didn't get this, I was going to kill myself.
Yeah.
Oh, if you had to keep living like us. My favorite. I love that movie.
I have to give credit to Chris Gethard. Chris Gethard, that was stolen from a real conversation that he had in real life when one of his friends got the show.
That's so fucking funny, dude. That's so fucking funny.
There's something about that show, and you auditioned for the show a couple times.
Yeah.
Something about that show that feels like, and this is why I did it in the movie, it's like, that feels like the government of comedy.
Yeah.
Like if there is an official comedy show, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we have.
It's like the only place where comedians get to be next to legitimate power and stardom. It's like you're next to the famous person of the week and this musician, and it really drives people crazy. But there's so many killer moments in that movie. I love it as a whole piece, but just so many beautiful like moments that actually when we watched it for the first time when we were teenagers, we didn't actually know yet how I've returned to moments of that movie in my head and been like, that is identically how that went. Really I've funny. Lived it now. And it was very funny to me.
Did you audition for SNL twice? And you've said like it was the best thing that ever happened to you not getting on the show in a way.
Yeah, it's funny because in the press cycle for the HBO special, especially, a lot of people have brought up the SNL stuff, and I'm very honest about being happy that I don't work there. But I don't have a grudge against the place. I just think a lot of the way they do things is really psycho, and everyone knows it. And now there's kind of this new era of like going back to pretending that it's not crazy there, and. Not getting it was, absolutely the two best things that didn't happen to me. But the first time I really, really wanted it.
Can you say more about like why? Because it seems obvious to me why it's better for you to have not gotten it. But like, what are you able to do now because you didn't get it?
Well, I think it really it lit a fire under me to not get it the first time. I was really, Steve Higgins was like, you should be doing internet videos. And I wasn't at the time. And I was like, I don't want to do internet videos. And he was like, too bad. And I really did need to hear that. You know what I mean? I was like, thank you.
He like pulled you aside at the audition?
No, when we were, because it was during, the first time I did it, I was still living in Chicago at the time. And we like had to go and have drinks with them, like a round table of drinks.
So were you at like IO or Second City?
Yeah, I was at IO.
IO.
And they saw me on a showcase. And then they called me and had me come and they'd have drinks with you in Chicago before they decide if they're going to fly you out.
Wow.
And Steve during the drinks was like kind of giving me the business. Like he was like, what do you do for a living? And I think at the time I had so many day jobs in Chicago, but I think I worked at an ad agency. And he was like, do you write copy? And I was like, no, I try to just like write comedy. I don't really want to get into writing at work. And he was like, that's stupid. If you can get paid to write, do it. Like really just like kind of, and I was like, yes, sir. I was very like, okay, this is kind of intense.
IO, for the listeners, if people don't know, was Improv Olympic in Chicago. Copyright infringement, it's called IO.
Yeah.
That's the long story short. They can't use the word Olympic.
Yeah.
So you did that. And then while you were in Chicago, were you doing stand-up at the same time?
Kind of. I really like quickly into doing improv and stuff was like this. I need to do more. Like just doing the improv shows, I was like, I need to be doing solo stuff. I need to be writing. It doesn't feel like the improv thing really goes anywhere.
Sure.
And I like 3 months in, I started talking like this, and my friends were like, "You're annoying," and I was like, "Absolutely." I was like, "Absolutely, I know that."
Yeah.
But I started doing like mostly sketch and characters and stuff, and had done stand up in college, but kind of got away from it because the open mics were nightmares and the stand ups were assholes, and I didn't like the vibe of the room.
Yeah.
And then I've eventually found a kind of hybrid thing where I was doing like, it was like me, Meg Stalter, Sarah Squirm, Grace Kuhlenschmidt, Holmes in Chicago. There were like these alt rooms where you could do like, it was all experimental, but it was like we were doing like PowerPoint comedy and like weird mixes of like character and stand up.
Yeah.
And then through that, I was like, oh, I actually can just do stand up in these rooms.
Yeah.
So I pivoted into just doing stand up again.
That's a great scene.
It was an awesome scene.
I didn't know all those people came up at the same time.
Yeah, we were all in Chicago around the same time. There's probably people I'm forgetting as well, but there's so many funny people in Chicago at that time doing like the Hideout and the Shithole and like a bunch of those alt rooms.
And then, so you moved up there, and then how did you end up making it to, we were talking before the podcast about you live in New York and Kansas City.
Yeah.
How did you make the leap to New York?
Well, I lived in Chicago for a while, and then I had told myself, like, it's so funny because end of 2019 is when I did that first SNL audition. I flew to New York and did the screen test, didn't get it. And then I guess that was like August or summer of 2019. And then I was like, I'm going to start doing videos, and in next year I'm quitting my job no matter what and moving to LA. And then I started doing videos. It took a little bit, but it started going well. And then I quit my day job. I was working as an assistant at a ad agency at the time. I was like, I'm done. I got to go chase comedy.
Yeah.
And January of 2020, I quit my day job with benefits. And then COVID hit. And so I was like driving for Uber Eats during COVID. And then my lease was up. And I was like, I'm just going to move to LA anyway. So I moved to LA during COVID because I said I would. And then that actually turned out to be a really good choice. And then sometime during COVID, I got my first writing job over Zoom. And so then I lived in LA for a couple of years. And then my dad died in 2022. And I started going home a lot to do dead dad stuff. And then, as it's called, and
it was a checklist,
big one. Got to do a lot of shit.
You went on legal Zoom. When your dad dies, you'll need these 5 documents.
Basically, and the funniest thing to me was when they're like, you need 7 death certificates. I was like, will a picture of the body work? Like he's dead, y'all. Like there's really I'm not faking it. But I was doing all that stuff, and then I was really kind of falling back in love with home. And I'd been writing for TV long enough that I had a little bit of money saved. And I was like, I'm just going to buy a house back at home and kind of go back and forth between LA. And then eventually I left LA and came to New York like a year ago.
So you've had like a wild 5 years.
It's been a weird one.
It's interesting because you talk about how you are happy. Your special. which
I get a lot of feedback on. People are like, okay, and how and why?
Yeah, what's the feedback?
Yeah, people are very confused by that.
Because you also talk about suicidal ideation. So it's like, how are those in concert with one another?
Well, one was going to win. You know?
Yeah. One of them has ambition.
Yeah. It's one's going to have to win, and we'll see which one. I think like... I don't know. I'm just, it's just all things are true. Everything is bad. I'm so scared. I don't understand why the world is so the way that it is. I think it's makes no sense to me that so many people are suffering when so many people have it so well. Mm-hmm. And that all does still weigh on me the way that it did when I wanted to kill myself. But there just gets to a point where you're like, okay, then either kill yourself or find a way to deal with it.
Yeah.
And so you just find a way to deal with it, you know?
I get that.
Or you don't, and then it's the other thing.
Right.
Yeah.
What's that again?
Suicide.
Jesus.
We're supposed to say it hushed. We're not supposed to talk about it.
One of the things I love about your special is that you force the audience to say, hey, fat ass, or a variation on it.
Yeah.
So that you'll have a comeback.
Yeah.
One of your comebacks to it. People should watch the special. It's so funny. But I was thinking when I was watching it, when you toured that, you must have gotten some wild reads of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
because I've done crowd work stuff where you're like essentially like priming the audience to say something. It's like you see some wild variations.
Yeah. you get like a version of, honestly, there's one of the, me and Michelle went to a socialist book event last night, and when they opened it up for the Q&A, there was immediately an old guy who jumped up and did a 3-minute monologue with no question. And he was like a little out of his mind, but in a way where it's like, he's our community, you know, but like, but he was like, you know, the real estate investors and I'll tell you another thing too. And we're all kind of like, yes, sir. And that's what it's like opening it up to the audience at a stand-up club. It's like someone who's been drinking since noon. This is their one day out for the month. And if you give them a moment, that's your fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get some crazy ones.
Right.
And I love it.
What was it that someone had like a really good read of it? Like a bully read? Did you ever hit people where you're like, oh, this person was a bully?
Yeah, that's how I found the bit, actually. In that bit, I was hesitant about whether or not to put that bit in the special, because crowd work in specials I often really hate, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. It's also not their job to be funny, it's mine, and so I have real like dilemmas about it. And I ended up doing it because I really like how it ended up fitting in the whole hour. But part of how I found the joke was that I was like testing out an initial version of the joke that wasn't at all about me pushing back on the way they were saying it. Yeah. And then there was just like a couple times early on in that bit that someone was so excited to do it that I was like, you really wanted to call me fat. Like you really, like you were excited. That really hurts. Like like you can see it in their eyes that you're like, this meant a lot to you to get to do this. Yeah. And that's very funny to me.
Totally. Well, it's interesting because your podcast is so kind of you, and your special is so you. That I feel like you probably get a lot of people, even on the street just now. Someone came up and was just talking to you as though they know you. Yeah. That must be like an odd byproduct of the type of comedy you do.
It is. I actually prefer it's all very new to me, and I have learned that I prefer when someone's just like, oh, hey, Caleb, how's it going, man? Right. I prefer that to like the setting apart, like straight, like, oh my God, you know, right. Which I'm not faulting anyone or making fun of anyone. No, of course. Like that, because I know that it can be like that, but I really prefer, I would love to be treated normally, and I would love to feel normal, and that it's a new thing that I'm kind of not sometimes. And so I like when someone's just like, hey, Caleb, how's it going? I think that's really nice.
I have to say, like, one time in Kansas City, I was playing there, and I know you love Kansas City. I love give us a sell for Kansas City. Yeah.
Well, you were probably about to. I think.
No, you can give a real one.
My real sell in Kansas City. Oh man, Kansas City. The people are nice. The streets are wide. The trees are tall. It's very green. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to live. It's right in the middle, so it's easy for people like us. Yeah. It's really easy to get everywhere. It's like an hour and a half flight from Chicago and Atlanta, 3 from LA, 3 from New York. We just got a brand new international airport, so it's making my life a lot easier. Nice. There's an incredible tenant union, like the strongest tenant union in the country, that's doing really, really good work protecting renters and working people in the city from a lot of the things that are ruining so many of our cities. It's a blue city, but it's not. You still feel like you're in the world, like it is in the middle of a sea of red, and so you have to get along with everybody and figure things out. But I love it there, and I'm always talking about how great it is because I just think it's a wonderful place to live.
First time I ever went to Kansas City, I decided, okay, it's the home of barbecue. Yeah. Every day I'm going to eat at a different barbecue.
Felt so sick your whole trip.
I've never felt sicker. It felt like my blood stopped. Yeah. After 5 days, I went to Arthur's. I went to like all the different ones, and I looked up all the different ones. I literally felt like I think my body's gonna stop moving. Yeah, and
it will.
Yeah, and it will. So now, like, I'll have the barbecue today, but I don't do two. From then on, I don't do 2 days in a row. No. You've said that you don't respect straight guys as a rule. Yeah. What's the disrespectful thing that you think about me that you're not saying?
Oh God! Well, you're
swing away.
Straight. Still, is that still the truth? Okay. You never know. It's Mike. Life is long, and things are. Life is long, and people change. I'm glad to hear it.
Straight, married 17 years.
Yeah, congratulations. That really is beautiful.
Thanks.
That being said. I think you could have a gayer haircut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
I think you could have a gayer haircut.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
When you say that, what do you mean?
Like, I think you could do
Like,
a little more.
When you're saying gayer, you mean more fashionable?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I could.
Yeah, that's all.
I mean, this hair says I've given up in 10 different ways.
I think it's working for you, but I think if you let me get my hands in there, I think we could do something really special.
You're in Devil Wears Prada 2. What is your most Miranda Priestley-esque belief?
People need to work harder. Yeah, people need to work harder. And I don't mean everybody. A whole bunch of people are working quite hard.
Yes,
I mean people in my life.
That's really funny.
I mean, like creatives. Like mostly the creatives I meet in Brooklyn, they're like, oh my God, life is so hard. I'm doing so much. And I'm like, they tell me about their day. And I go, you're not.
Right.
You're not doing much. There's a lot of sitting around going on. Just work harder.
Well, I think it sounds like you probably got that from your mom because your mom had worked like 3 jobs when you were a kid.
Yeah.
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 I feel like I got it from my dad, like, because my dad's a doctor and like in his free time he got his law degree, so he's like always working. I have the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, but it's a little bit of an illness too.
Totally. I don't think that hard work is virtuous. I think that if you want an interesting, fun, full life, working hard is a piece of it.
Yeah.
I don't think that you should be exclusively working hard. I don't think the hard work should come before joy or relaxation or family or friends necessarily all the time.
Yeah.
But I think just people should work a little harder because they're always talking about the things they want, but then the work often doesn't match up to it.
Yeah. The is there anything you from watching Meryl Streep perform on that movie that you learned?
You know, so when we did a big table read before the movie, like, and everyone came in person and did a big table read, which was very cool. Cause then you also get to meet everyone before, you do the thing, and it can be intimidating. So I was excited to meet everybody, and I got to watch, Meryl and Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt. Stein was on Zoom because he was in Italy or something, which tracks. But I got to watch them make choices about the character in the moment.
Yeah.
Like they, Meryl would do a line of Coke, and she would perform. Kidding, she would perform a line, and then she would like kind of just take a second and like redo it quickly in the way that you're like, that's how she's probably gonna do it in the movie.
Yeah.
And it was so fun to just watch her process and to watch too that like. She's doing this in front of a bunch of people and making choices and then rethinking them and like actually doing the work of making the choice for the character in the moment in front of people.
Yeah.
And I think that's very humble and very cool.
Yeah.
Especially for someone who could phone it in. Meryl can phone it in if she wants.
Of course.
She's got it like that.
Yeah,
It's like totally decided. She's a legend.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I was watching that and I was really like, I actually could do so much better at that. And I could work. It just made me want to work harder. I was like, I can be more prepared. I can do better. I can, if I catch myself phoning it in, I actually could do even better and work even harder and be more present, because that was very inspiring.
I think that's what part of like what improv teaches you in a way. I always think about improv as being like, to your point, there's no economic upside of improv. like everyone, like you and I both know some of the best improvisers in the world who are just out of work.
Yeah.
Because there's no, unless you figure out how to turn it into being an actor, being a writer, being a director, a producer, whatever, there's just no upside. I mean, you can't sell that as a product.
Yeah.
Or maybe 10 people can. Ben Schwartz can.
Ben Schwartz can and does.
Ben Schwartz
can and does.
Ben Schwartz and TJ and Dave, and I think the list is maybe 5 more people.
Might be then those might be the ones.
But it is an interesting case of it does. Do you feel like your improv helps you on a daily basis? Things like the table read or things like the other stuff you do. Like, how does it inform what you do?
Yeah, improv changed my life. Probably, honestly, saved my life. I think improv, like, very much, like, I'm a huge believer in improv. I think everyone should train in improv if they can, for even just for life. I think it makes you more present. I think it makes you a better conversationalist. I think it makes you enjoy. It's all about noticing and paying attention. And I think truly being happy is about noticing and paying attention. And there's so many things in life that can be boring if you let them be, but are exciting and wonderful and beautiful if you just pay attention to them.
Yeah.
And improv, it's I would be a horrible stand-up if I wasn't trained in improv. I would be a horrible writer if I wasn't trained in improv. I would be a worse friend. I really do think that improv, deciding to train in improv when I was in college and then after, is like the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
I really believe in it.
What does the blank page look like for you? Like, where do you start from when you're writing stand-up?
I never write it down.
Oh, you don't?
I never write it down.
You do bullet points?
Yeah, eventually. I almost always start from the stage, and what I'll do is I'll do someone else. I'll do like a show that isn't my own that I didn't sell the tickets to.
Yeah.
And like be on someone's lineup or something, and I'll open with a joke that I'll usually open with something that I know works that's older, and then I'll do a bunch of new stuff, and then somewhere in the middle I'll do something that I know works, and then a bunch of new stuff, and then I'll close with an old one. Yeah. And I just work it. That's how I went to a couple open mics when I started, and I was like, absolutely not. I'm gonna have to find a different way to do this. Yeah. Mics weren't for me. Yeah. So I hardly ever end up with a fully written down joke on paper. Yeah. The time I got the closest ever in my career so far was the HBO special. Yeah. And even then it was bullet points.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. But did you have to give them a transcript?
I think my team sent them like a transcript of like a video of it. Sure. Or something, but I didn't sit down and write it out.
Do you ever have shows where people object to you, talking about certain topics? Yeah. Like, what does it feel? What is that like? What does it feel like?
Mostly, my audience is pretty. I don't get a lot of yelling out in the moment. Yeah. I don't get a lot of hecklers.
You get a lot of emails.
I get DMs. I get
emails. I get DMs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we might have a similar audience in that way.
Yeah. They're
they're not rude people.
Yeah.
But they're like, I have some thoughts.
Yeah. I had a really interesting one actually. The whole time I have a huge chunk of the HBO special is talking about the Holocaust and this tour that I went on. That's right. Yep. And to me, the politics of it are so clear. It's the hardest thing I've ever cracked, and I did it at a show in DC. And I did a small co-headlining tour with a musician friend of mine just for shits and giggles. Oh wow! It was so fun. And she did like 30 minutes of her latest album, and I did 30 minutes of stand up. Then we had some drag queens. It was a blast.
So fun.
She and I both got barraged by this one woman after the DC show. Okay. It was like calling me anti-Semitic, that like, how dare I joke about.
Oh, really?
Yes, very upset.
Right. And so, because just to give context to people, you talk about going on a tour of a concentration camp.
Yes.
A couple years ago.
Yes. Yeah. And so, but I almost never engage with this kind of stuff. Yeah. But she seemed I looked at her page, and she like works for a nonprofit, and she seemed very like someone I would get along with. So I accepted the DM request, and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry you feel that way. I would love to talk more about it. Like, I think the politics are so clear, and what I'm after here is this, and what do you think about that? And what moment of it made you feel this way? Because I'm interested. And she was like, I don't dialogue with anti-Semites.
Oh gosh.
And I was like, okay, well, I would love to again. And I tried again. I was like, I would love to talk about what would make you say that, and what would make you think that about this material. And who knows why I'm doing this. I guess I just found it was kind of jarring that someone who seems so rational based on what I was seeing, other than this, like looking at their page and what they support and some of the things they posted.
I feel the same way.
And then she again was like, the fact that you even feel comfortable joking about that is a sign of blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, if you want a refund, let us know. We'd be happy to get your money back, and like, all the best. So something really happened there. Right. But it'll be stuff like, and that also is very sparing. I honestly don't get a lot of that. But that was the probably the one of the last 5 years that has stuck out to me.
That is something that I am similar about, though. Like when I'm touring like a new hour, if I'm noticing there's like 5 emails about like a topic that I'm hitting, I'm like, I am similar to you, sort of curious, like, oh, how come this is a thing that's bumping people?
Yeah, and I generally think, look, if there's that many people upset about it, I'm doing a bad job. Yeah. Because the politics should be clear. I've built my credibility. I've spent enough time in the set telling you who I am that you should feel comfortable letting me walk a little bit. Right. Like, I'm thinking like, I know that this is sensitive material. I've worked really hard to be able to do this. Yeah. So when it doesn't go, that's one of it's literally one person in many, many thousands from that tour. Yeah. That I'm like, you got to let it go. But it does confuse me, because I'm like, I want to understand on a human level what's not connecting here between two rational people who mostly agree.
Completely.
And you just got to let it go.
You were named the 6th most influential social media creator in the world. You outranked Mr. Beast, which resulted in Mr. Beast, and I saw this when it happened, tweeting about you in frustration. But then I just found out today he called you to apologize?
He did, yeah.
What did he say?
He tweeted the thing, and he tweeted like, oh,
like he only has 1 million followers or something. Yeah, like some kind of like,
he was like, this guy they think that this guy with 1 million followers is more influential than me. What I do to piss off the Rolling Stones or whatever, and Yeah, he DM'd me and was like, hey, could I call you? I want to apologize. And I was like, yeah, you really don't need to, but if you'd like to, no worries. Like, here's my number. And he called me, and he was very apologetic. I thought it was really nice of him.
Yeah.
I was like, don't worry about it. I genuinely thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I'm totally not bent out of shape about it. It's no worries. I also, for the record, agree with you. To me, it's very obvious that he's more influential than me. I'm not really interested in influence as like that's not what I'm after.
Right.
It's a byproduct of my job. But yeah, I was like, whatever, man, no worries. Like, we're good. And he was very like, yeah, I just think like sometimes the people around me get me spun up about this stuff. And I was like, you should probably get better people around you.
Oh God.
And he was like, you're alarmingly nice. Like, why do you think that is? Like, I'd love to understand a little bit more about you. And we talked for a little bit about life.
Well, that's nice.
It was perfectly sweet. It was a perfectly sweet thing. I feel bad for the guy in many ways. I can't imagine, I struggle with like the level of attention that I get.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what life is like for him. I don't want it. And I'm like, God love you. The whole thing seems stressful. I bet if I were in your position, I would also get spun out about things like that.
Yeah.
And so whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
I was just like, rock on. That's fine.
Yeah. You talked about how when you were crafting your special, you wanted to take out stuff related to grieving your father because it was for the live audience only.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think you'll talk about that moving forward? Because it feels like it's so fertile for, like, I did a whole special about my dad's stroke. So it's like, I know, like, it seems like you could be hilarious in that space.
Yeah. I left in a good chunk of it. There was just some stuff that started to deal with my family's grieving that didn't really feel like it was mine to tell in a recording forever on HBO. There were a couple of years at the beginning of my stand-up career where I turned down every opportunity to tape stand-up, like the Comedy Central Presents and all that stuff, because I really had a pretty firm belief for a while that stand-up is meant to happen in the room.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to record it for me personally. And then I was like, but you love stand-up specials. You love so many people's recorded stand-up. And so my opinion changed on that, but there is still some stuff that I'm like, there are certain things that are for in the room and certain things that are for the taping.
Yeah.
Sans the crowd work piece I put in my special, all of my crowd work is for in the room. And I love crowd work. It's usually a decent part of the show, but yeah, I feel like there's some things, especially when it gets into like the very specific ways that my grandma was grieving, that were quite funny, but just aren't mine. I just felt like, if I feel like I would need to call her and get her permission to put it in, then I just shouldn't do it.
No, totally.
And that was just for me. I think I loved it in the room. I thought it was great material.
I know what you mean though about stand-up being an in-the-room art form. Like there is something lost always when you see someone live and then you see the film special.
Don't you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel when you watch it? Because I'll tell you, this is my first stand-up special, and the first time I watched it, Mike, I was so sick. I was like, this feels like a flop. I was like, I hate this. It doesn't feel anything like it felt in the room. And filming it in general, the vibe of everyone knowing that they were there for a taping.
Yeah.
The special, I love the special. I'm so proud of the special. It does not feel the way it felt on the tour.
Right.
Something is lost.
Yeah.
And I don't think I could have done a better job for what it was at the time. And the team I got was so incredible. But I just think like, yeah, there's an extra spark missing, especially when you inherently in a special, you're limiting yourself from like, you're not going to come in and spend 10 minutes talking about the parking situation at the venue.
No, of course.
But in a live show, if the parking situation at the venue is crazy, you have to.
No, it's almost like as a viewer, you're putting yourself in the shoes of what it would be like if you were in the audience. Like, it's not even, it's like a twice removed experience in a certain way.
Yeah. It's like the shadow on the cave.
Yes.
Like, it's not the person. It's not it being in the room with the candle.
That's right.
It's almost like you're imagining if you'd seen a show.
Yeah.
And I love the special, and it's a totally different thing, and you have to appreciate it in a different way. And I couldn't have lucked out harder with everyone who worked on it. Like, I really think like I got to, success or flop, I really got to have my fingerprints on it.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of it. But I really, really, really feel that if people like stand up, the best thing they can do is go see it in the room, because the taping will never be the same.
That's why I listen to specials more than I watch them. Because it's one degree of like, you can imagine you're there.
Yeah.
Versus watching every frame of it and
Yeah.
just going like, oh, okay, I'm here and this is not as good as actually it would be.
Yeah. How did you feel the first time you watched one of your stand-up specials before it came out?
I find it to be devastating.
Thank God. Thank you for saying
I find
that.
it always to be devastating. No, it's awful.
Oh, thank God.
You bought a business suit when you were 15. I have a lot of questions about this.
Okay.
What did you think the plan was? Like, you literally, in your special, you say it, but I'm like, what else? What was step one? What was step two?
There was a legitimate need for the business suit in the sense that I was going to these student conferences. I was a student officer. I was a locally, then regionally, then state, then nationally elected officer in a family values organization.
Wow, really?
When I was in high school, yes.
Is that religious?
Well, it's that thing. It's that thing where like they can't say it, you know. But it
why?
basically,
Because it's like government sanctioned or something.
I mean, it's in the school. It's like a school organization, and so their thing is like we love family, you know. Right. But it's like only one kind, you know. It's very like specific. But it's
only one kind.
There were people of other faiths in it. It felt very Christian. But yeah, I was in that, and so I was running for office in that. I grew up very poor. And so I think anything I could do when I was a teenager to like distance myself from the idea that I was going to remain poor or be like the people where I'm from, which thank God I have worked on, because that's such a nasty idea. But the idea that I was going to remain poor and stay in my hometown, anything I could do to distance from that. So the suit was my like, I got a suit.
Yeah.
Guys who wear suits are like a pretty big deal.
Totally.
And I think that there's part of it probably on a subconscious level when I think back on it. That's like, I was fat, closeted, poor. Like, I wasn't like one of the thin, rich, hot kids.
Sure.
And so I'm like, what I can do.
From High School Musical?
From High School Musical. Yeah. Ever heard of them? The thin, rich, hot kids. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 in the cast. But yeah, I was like, what I can do is be really smart. And I can be really accomplished. And accomplishments were my like distancing tool from these other things that were not good about me. And suit was part of that.
Look the part.
Suit was part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my mom was certainly like.
And you got it? You got the suit?
She got me the suit.
That's nice.
I mean, my mom is way cooler than me and always has been. And so I think that when I was in high school, she must have been like, it's tough that I'm raising a nerd, but I guess if he needs the suit.
Who are you jealous of?
You know, I've seen you ask people this.
Yeah.
And I've thought about it. I've actually, it's funny because it's been a while since.
Don't block me.
Block you?
Don't block me.
What do you mean?
You're talking about the question, but
you're
not
I'm
answering.
Not. No, I want to say it's the slow round.
Of? Okay.
I want to say that I've turned over people's answers on this, and I've thought about my own several times in the shower over the past couple weeks.
Okay.
And I didn't land on one definitively before I came in here. But I want to say I think it's really sweet when someone, like I think like Bob Odenkirk said, like, people whose kids are still young.
Yeah.
How convenient, Bob. I love that. That's so sweet.
How convenient, Bob.
What a sweet,
it was so earnest, though.
Perfect answer.
So earnest, though.
I know, but I'm like, I watched it and I was like, I love Bob. I'm a huge fan of his. I know him a little bit, and I'm like, I'm like, oh, I want to say something. I want to say something that feels not safe, though. That feels so like, of course, that's a beautiful answer.
So who's the person you thought of but you didn't say?
Who I thought of that I was jealous but I didn't say?
Yep.
It didn't immediately come to mind, and I'm trying to. That's what I want to.
Who was your don't think twice person? Like the first person to make it in your group, or was it you?
Unfortunately, it was me. I'm so sorry, it was me. But who am I jealous of? I'm not dodging it, and I want to get it. Who am I jealous of? I will say, in a blanket way, all of my musician friends, and I will say. Very specifically, my friend Katie Crutchfield, who is a musician who performs as Waxahachie, she, I think, has such a wonderful grasp on creativity and having a huge career moment and making beautiful, wonderful, specific art, but also living such a wonderful private life and maintaining mystery. And
I love her music. I don't know a thing about her.
She is I mean, I could really cry talking about her. She's one of my favorite people on the whole earth, and I really think she has so many things figured out. She's such a tremendous friend, and I'm often very jealous of her ability to step back from situations and see it kind of for what it is. Like it seems like she sees the cards laid out in a way that sometimes I'm so in it that I feel like I'm among the cards. And I'm jealous of. I'm just jealous she gets to go away and make albums and put out music, and I'm jealous of the whole thing.
I feel like I'm among the cards too.
You feel like you're in the cards?
Yeah, I like that analogy.
Do you know what I mean?
Among the cards, and you're not standing back and looking at the cards. It's like, yeah, I know, I relate to that.
Yeah, I'm down there being shuffled around with them sometimes. Yeah. But then sometimes you talk to a friend like that, and you're like, oh, they've really got it laid out. They can see where this goes and doesn't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Who are you jealous of?
We'll cut it.
Will we?
I'm trying to think. Honestly, I used to be, I wrote that movie when I was very jealous of people.
Yeah.
And then that movie weirdly cured me of this jealousy.
Wow. Don't block me. Don't block me.
Just give even like.
But right now?
You're talking about the question.
We can cut it if you really want.
Mabel, I wish you wouldn't say that.
I'm jealous of people who have balanced energy.
Yeah, name one.
I don't know. I don't know who those people are.
Yeah.
But it's like I go through my day feeling out of control of my own energy.
Yeah.
And it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'll be going along, doing something, and then all of a sudden, vroom, 0. I'm at 0 in the tank out of 10. And then for a run, I'll be at 10 or whatever. And that's what you see on stage.
Yeah.
That's what when people come see me. And then afterwards, if they come up to me in the street, they're like, basically like, how come you're not at 10?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I put everything in my day.
It's crazy I got to 10.
I got into 10, up to 10 on stage.
Yeah.
But I can't do it in life.
Yeah.
And so I think I can typically get myself to between 5 and 7 for most of the day, or 3 and 7 most of the day.
Yeah.
What drives me crazy is when I'm like stuck between 0 and 2.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm jealous of people who seemingly are able to fucking have stable energy all the time.
That's the secret, though, is everything is seemingly. Yeah, that's the thing. Everything is seemingly. Who fucking knows?
Yeah. No, you're right.
You're a very, very, very good interviewer for a lot of reasons, but you've made it very hard for me to ask questions during this interview. You have. It's very, you do, this all has a cadence of it. Was very, there have been multiple times that I've been like, I want to get a question into Mike because I'm curious. And then it's just almost impossible. Sounds like by design.
Thanks. Yeah, it is by design. Yeah. But that's a really nice compliment. We'll cut it. What do you daydream about?
Peace.
Same,
fucking brother. Live in God.
Same,
come
brother.
on.
Just daydreaming about peace all the time.
I daydream about
these two guys daydreaming about peace all day, every day.
Like playing, like all my friends being free to drop by my little house in the mountains all the time.
Dude, you and me, we're gonna be a banjo duo in the mountains.
The way I'll never do it.
It's gonna be me, you, Waxahachie.
Yeah.
We'll invite the mountain goats.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, God, this sounds amazing.
Yeah, this is great.
Cooking fucking dinners.
Yeah.
You ever see like pictures of like a big long outdoor table under some trees in the autumn?
Yeah.
And you go, I need to sit there with 20 of my friends and eat dinner.
Of course.
I think about this every minute of every day.
What's something you believed 10 years ago that you don't believe now?
There's two things that come to mind. The first thing that comes to mind is probably just that I'm a person who's incapable of being truly happy. Mm-hmm. That was a belief that I had at that age in my life that I, thank God, disabused myself of. Mm-hmm. And I think that the issue that I was having at the time was that I viewed happy as a type of person and not a state of emotion. And I was like, oh, I'm not one of the happy people. And that's actually just not that's not even how that is. That's not what that can be. That's not it's not a type of person. There are happy people are sometimes sad, and sad people are sometimes happy, and it's not a type of person. It's a thing that you feel. So that's one thing. And then the other thing that came to mind immediately that kind of made me giggle was just everyone who disagrees with me is bad.
Yeah,
I really was in that.
Amen.
I really was in that.
Amen.
I was in that in a tough way. I was like a really antagonistic atheist. I was a really intense, like, if you don't vote like I do, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, I was really like, everything that everyone is kind of having cultural backlash about right now is based off of the way me and my friends were behaving.
It was you guys.
Yes.
It started with you guys.
Firmly a part of it.
How'd you get past that? Because I think that's fundamentally one of the most important things that we can do as fellow citizens to one another.
Yeah.
Because people, they do not walk in each other's shoes.
Yeah.
You cannot know what someone went through to arrive where they arrived.
Yeah.
You cannot know.
Yeah.
But it's like, how did you get there? Like, if someone's listening to this and they go, oh my God, that's what I'm like. What would maybe your advice for them?
I think that it was based in fear. That it was like, I'm so scared that I'm not going to be one of the good people, that I'm not going to be a good person, that I'm going to be, particularly as like a white guy from a small town in Missouri, I was so scared that I was not going to be one of the good people, and that any aberrance from perfection, especially politically, would make me. Part of it is an insecurity about where I'm from, but being from rural Missouri and needing to deal with my own misinformed feelings about what that means and what it means to be from a place like that, that I had a lot of ideas about, like, well, because I'm not comfortable being here as a gay person, that means that this place is ignorant and bad. And that's not true. There are plenty of very intelligent, lovely, warm, empathetic people that live where I'm from. But I needed to live a little bit of life and get away for a little bit to, I think, fully know that. But this fear... there is no such thing as a perfect person, and there's no such thing as like perfect politics. The best thing you can do is just genuinely worry about other people. Yeah. And I think a lot of that, like, everyone who doesn't agree with me identically, fuck you. A lot of that thing is fear that if you don't feel that way, that you're complicit in bad and evil. That if you're not punishing, it's really a desire for punishment. We love punishment as a society. And I still feel that creep into my life, and from time to time in different ways, wanting to, withhold communication or warmth from a friend who hasn't texted me back quickly enough, or just the idea of punishment and wanting subconsciously even people to pay is a big thing for us culturally. We have a lot of cops inside of us. Yeah. And yeah, I think I would just tell someone, if you're someone who's in that, that's okay. It's a totally understandable way to feel in the world we're living in. But I do not think it's the correct way to feel. I think it's really counterproductive. It's likely not serving you, and it's certainly not serving other people. Right. And it actually doesn't make the lives of anybody having a hard time better for you to be an asshole. Amen. And I would just, I think that's probably it.
Well said. Well stated.
We do what we can.
Can you think of a time you were so scared that you ran away?
Physically?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, I want to throw up. Okay. This summer, my boyfriend and I had gone, I was filming a movie upstate, and I was so lonely and bored. I love everyone working on the film. They're all friends, but there are often days that I wasn't working that they were. And I was like, please come up here. And so we got a house for the weekend and had a pool, which I was so excited about because I wanted to swim. And we went out there, and okay. And so we get to the house, put our bags down, immediately put on our swim trunks, and are like, let's go swim. I couldn't wait to swim. And I hadn't gotten a tattoo this summer, which I sometimes do, which ruins my swimming. It was like swim time. We go get in the pool, and I'm like standing in the deep end of the pool, and I feel something under my foot, and it feels like a stick. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I grab it with my toes and pull it up to my hand, and it's like a mossy, like gross stick. And I'm like, ew. And so I take the stick and I throw it out of the pool. And I feel another thing with my toes, and I'm like, fuck, I'm going to be cleaning this thing out with my toes the whole time. So then I grab it. It's another mossy stick. So it's a second mossy stick. I've grabbed my toes, put it in my hand, thrown it. Feel a third thing with my toes. Like perfect, like 1 beat, 2 beat, 3 beat. I feel it with my toes, and I'm like, oh, that's so much softer than the stick. But it's probably just like a dish rag,
of course,
or something.
It's a dish rag, of course.
And so I grab it with my toes, and I bring it up to my hand, same as the stick, and then I pull my hand up out of the water, and it's a dead rat.
Oh, gross.
Oh
my God. It's so gross.
In my hand.
That is no.
And I picked up a waterlogged dead.
The rat was in your hand?
From my toe to my hand. And
oh my God.
And it was, by the way, my face is this close to the water, so the rat is right here. And I'm not exaggerating.
God.
It's like this.
Oh my God.
And it's so much softer than you can imagine because of all the water. And so I go, ah! I throw it out of the pool. It hits the fence, slides down. And I turn to my boyfriend, and I was like, I need to be alone for a while. I walk directly out of the pool, and don't grab any of my stuff, go into the house, walk into the first shower I can find. Hadn't even looked around the house yet. First shower I can find, strip out of my bathing suit, throw it in the sink, turn on the hot water in the sink and let it run, get in the shower and take the hottest, scratchiest, the whole time I'm dry heaving.
There's nothing you can do.
Hottest dry heaving shower, whole time. Hot, steamy, burning my skin shower.
Sickening.
And then I get out and I just like, I wasn't the same the rest of the day. And I still
You'll
sometimes...
never be the same again.
No.
You will never be clean from that event.
No.
There's nothing you can do. There's no amount of showers.
Thank you for saying this.
There's no amount of showers you can take that will take away what happened.
This is my fear, and I want to thank you for saying it. and that's so obviously hard to hear, and I know that you're right. And
I mean it out of love.
I know, and it hurts. It hurts to be loved by you sometimes in this moment.
Okay,
No.
rat in toes. Toe grabs, rat. Foot to hand, rat.
In face.
Close to face.
Close to face.
Close to face.
Close to face rat.
Oh my God.
Throw it. I sometimes when there's a moment of quiet, I start dry heaving before realizing that I'm remembering it.
That is so gross.
I'm not kidding when I tell. It's not like I'm not doing an affect for you or doing this for the cameras. I want to tell you that I feel really sick right now.
I'm so sorry.
Remembering
You okay?
this.
Do you need water?
No, in the way of like my tummy feels upside down. Like I can't believe that happened to me. I'm a good person.
Right. No, you didn't do anything wrong.
It sucked.
You didn't, Caleb.
Sucked.
You didn't do anything wrong.
Woo! Rat in hand.
You know what? Here's a positive way of looking at it. You're a man of the earth. And rats are living in the earth.
That's a beautiful perspective that I won't access. And I want to thank you for bringing it to light. Oh, I hate it.
I believe that Caleb is a man of the earth. He's the kind of guy to grab a rat with his toes.
Spread the word.
Put the yeah, he doesn't care.
Yuck.
Puts the rats up to his face
He
sometimes.
holds the rat with his toes and then his hand.
No, it's part of our mountain existence together.
It can't be.
Maybe it's chapter 1 of our mountain story.
You're planting dead rats around the property for me to find. Oof.
It's you, me, some rats, Waxahachie.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, we're killing the name. Yeah.
Okay, here's some jokes.
Okay.
Do you have jokes? Do you
do
have
you
anything in your notebook? So sometimes we work out things that are in our notebook. Do you have anything that's like half baked or a premise?
Let me see if I've got anything in here. What's in the notes?
You're such a joyous person to talk to.
Mike, why would you say that? That's so sweet. Stand up. My stand-up note. This is my stand-up note.
Oh, nice.
I'm working through here.
That's
you know?
what I do.
It's just easier. I would love to be a notebook guy. It's way cuter, more aesthetic. I've been for a long time trying to figure out something with this. This really has disturbed me, and I don't know if I can find a joke here because I'm so enraged about it. I saw a guy in Chicago. We were there. We were playing the Chicago theater. I watch a guy finish a vape. Already humiliating. Mm-hmm. He finishes a vape in public. Grown man in front of other people. Finishes a vape. I watch him. He goes. Tosses it into a bed of tulips.
Awful.
There's a trash can no further than 3 feet
Ridiculous.
away. The gorgeous Chicago
Outrageous.
tulips that they plant.
Yeah.
Gorgeous bed of tulips. He tosses a empty vape into it. I really genuinely think if I killed him, I could get off. I think that the jury would side with me if they heard my story. I just think, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
There's no purpose in it.
Yeah.
And there's no joke there yet, but it's bothering me.
No, I think it's a great setup, and I think it's like a great topic to break open. I think it's like I think to make it a full piece, you'd have to think of like what you do.
Yeah.
That's analogous.
I'd love to find out. One thing I was thinking of too is like I'd love to think about what I could learn about him that would let me forgive him.
Oh, that's nice.
Like what could
that's nice.
What could he possibly tell me?
Right.
Like if I were to get him in an intertegration room and say, I'm either going to kill you or forgive you.
Right. Yes.
What could he tell me to make that okay?
Right. Like if he was working at a soup kitchen that morning, 9 hours straight.
Yeah.
And he's like, the one thing I enjoy
is throwing my vape in the tulips.
I like to have a vape. Yeah. And then I like to find some area of beauty.
Yeah.
And get rid of that vape there.
Yeah. Or I was, it'd have to be like, oh yeah, you don't know this, Caleb, but those tulips are actually planted by the Pritzker family in order to monitor, I would need to know, like there would need to be some kind of anti-capitalist, there would need to be some kind of thing that's like they actually have surveillance devices in those. It contributes to the panopticon.
That's strong.
Something would need to happen so crazy for me to let him off.
Right. Like one of the only ways it would make sense if this was the first scene in an action film.
Yeah.
And then he ducks behind a corner and you follow him.
Yeah.
And it's like the backstage of like Mission Impossible.
Yeah, exactly correct.
Yeah. No, I think that's interesting. Because there are certain pet peeves where when you see someone do something in public, and also it does beg the question, what are they doing in private?
Right.
That guy did the vape thing.
Crazy.
In plain sight.
In front of me.
In front of you. In front of everybody.
A member of his beloved community, whether he knows it or not.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Yeah. I think like, and also I would say like, there's two directions I consider going. One is like, what do you do that's possibly someone could perceive you as
that bad.
being that guy?
Yeah.
What do you do that through a certain lens is that?
I wanted to be mad at him, but then I realized.
Like, yeah. And then the other one is just like, if you have an example, if you have 3 examples like that, like that's how I always think about things in my notebook. Is I go, that's what the cards are for. It's like, oh, this could go with this, could go with this, could go with this. But I think that, like that's a great, like it's such a vivid example of something that drives me nuts. Also,
yeah. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
What else do you have? Do you have other?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let me think. Allow me to look. What else? I'm just looking at my most recent ones. Oh, I've been thinking about this a lot. Okay. I saw a video of like 8 girls dancing in the kitchen. It's like a TikTok. They're like dancing in the kitchen. The girls, they're singing along to a song together, and it's beautiful, really sweet.
Yeah.
And I loved it, and I identified it as something that is so beautiful and so slice of life, and the whole reason we're probably here. But then the caption was, "How would you even explain this to a man?" And I left it going like, well, men have listened to music. You know, like that just to me is like,
oh my God.
It's like,
it's so funny.
It's this bizarre celebration of girlhood that I'm so on board with. And then it's like, how would a boy get this? And it's like, well, boys have hung out with their friends.
Right.
That's actually not the issue with boyhood.
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about it.
Right. It's actually quintessential relatable.
Yeah.
And you're saying, oh, no. This is the least relatable.
It might be, by the way, one of the only things men and women can both understand.
Yeah, music, dancing.
Hanging out with your friends. It's like the most universally relatable, cool thing to do.
Yeah. They're gatekeeping friendship.
Yeah. And I just thought it was such a funny whiplash because I also often, when people say things like that on the internet, they're not talking about me.
Yes.
Actually, they're actually talking about
me.
Yes, exactly.
They're saying you. They're thinking
talking
about
you. Yeah. So I'm like, but I read that and went,
I'm offended also.
Oh, yeah, we're both offended.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you got?
That's good. I love that one.
There's some new stuff. There's some stuff in here.
That's so funny.
We'll work on the new stuff.
I was when I was starting out in comedy, I was doing a show in West Virginia, and I was opening for this guy, and he goes, "You live in New York City?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Only time I ever went to New York City, all I saw was the inside of an abortion clinic," and and I said, "Well, you really got to spend a week there to get a feel for the town." You could swing by the Empire State Building and the holidays. They have the tree at Rockefeller Center. The abortion clinics are nice. That was one of your things already.
You got that, yeah.
So that's a joke that like I've done a few times on stage, and like I kind of don't know what to do with it. You ever have jokes like that where you go like, oh, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a true story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this guy opened for like at this kind of middle of nowhere kind of place, and I just thought it was such a funny interaction.
It's very funny. It's also funny to think about it in terms of like asking him like, well, which one did you go to?
Right.
That one's a tourist trap. I'll write this down. I'll tell you a local one that we all
you got to know the local spots.
Yeah. The idea that like he went to one of the kind of chuggy ones.
Right.
Yeah.
You went to TGI abortions. You gotta go. You gotta go to the local.
You gotta go to Junior's Abortions in Sunset Park. Yeah. It's a family joint. Yeah. It made me think of I've been trying to find something with this. I saw a huge window cling on the back of a car recently. I don't remember where I was, somewhere in the middle of the country, and it just said abortion ends a life. And I was like, it's really hard to tell which side of the thing you're on.
Sure, yeah.
That's just objectively,
right.
100%, by the way. That just feels like a very middle.
Sometimes two.
Yeah, hey. By the way,
hey.
Not to be dark about it, but abortion ends a life to me was just like, ideally, that's the operation.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, no one has a kid at the end of it. That is what's kind of the goal.
You're really holding your cards over there.
Yeah.
Let's do Working Out for a Cause. Is there a nonprofit that you like to contribute to? And what we do is we contribute at the show, and then we link to them in our show notes.
Yes, I would love. We just did, actually, I do an annual benefit show for them. We just did it last week. The Tenant Union, KC Tenants.
Oh, great.
In Kansas City. Their work, it's a multi-generational, multiracial working class tenant union in Kansas City. Their whole goal is to secure truly safe, affordable housing for everybody.
Great.
And they're fighting gentrification and the out-of-town real estate investors that are trying to buy up our city and run everybody out by jacking up the prices, which helps no one but them. They're not even our neighbors. There's tenant unions all over the country. Mine, the one I'm most passionate about, is obviously KC Tenants. Incredible tenant work going on in New York as well, for anyone who's listening. I truly was in such a hopeless place politically before I got involved with the tenant union, and it reignited my hope that we actually can get something done in this time. And I love it so much.
That's so great, Caleb.
Yeah.
I love it when people have genuine passion in the Working Out for a Cause section for what the organization can do. And it just sounds like a great organization. Linked to Kansas City, which I can't wait to visit again. And hopefully we can hang out there.
Come through. You can stay at my house anytime, Mike.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Come through.
I didn't mean to invite myself.
I would love for you to. I'm begging. I love when people come stay with me.
Will be the chapter 2 of our mountain story.
So it starts with the mouse. Or the rat.
The rat.
And then you come and stay at the house.
Rat in face,
rat
chapter
in face.
1.
And
I
then
stay at your house, chapter 2.
I'll do something to you at the house. Yeah. I'll do some sort of prank that scares you.
Oh, you got to cut my hair.
I would love to give you a
chapter
haircut.
4,
I would
the
love
haircut.
to give you a haircut. I'll give you a haircut. I'm not good at it, but I think it'd be fun. You know what I would do? If you were like, let's go do it right now, I would give a bunch more. It's got great texture. I'd give it more texture, and then I'd dye it.
What color?
I would do like a bleach blonde base, and then I would give you like leopard prints.
You know who'd love that? My daughter. My daughter's 10. She would love if I dyed my hair and did leopard prints.
I bet she's pretty cool.
Obviously, she's very cool.
Yeah, so I'm saying we might be onto something.
And so are you, Caleb.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.